Italian buttercream icing. There are, we'll keep it simple, there's basically 3 different types of buttercream icing. There's Italian, French, and American. American is what you're going to get when you buy it from the store. It's shortening and usually some sort of milk, water product, and powdered sugar, plus whatever flavoring you add to it. It's cheap, it goes a long way, doesn't always taste the best, and I pretty much think it's horrible, because it leaves that like weird, greasy taste in your mouth.
But the nice thing is, if the kids decide they're going to eat a bunch, they get diarrhea.
Yes.
It cures them of that.
They usually only do it once.
Yeah, I had a kid that ate 2 pounds. Well, then you're going to be sick.
Oh my goodness.
He had diarrhea for 3 days.
His gallbladder had to kick in a bunch to get the fat
Yeah,
out
but
of
you know what? He
Yeah.
never ate while we were cooking again.
So we are going to make Italian buttercream.
How many?
The French. Oh, we're gonna get them started because the sugar's almost ready. I will go over it. Italian buttercream is egg whites, and this is a huge batch because we're making it so that everybody can use it. It's typically 8 egg whites.
Is this for French or Italian?
This is for Italian. The difference between French and Italian buttercream, Italian uses egg whites, so you get a really white product. French uses egg yolks. There's no way to make it perfectly white. I usually use it when I'm making chocolate buttercream, because there's nothing like egg yolks in chocolate. So good. This might work.
You have to pull the cage down, and then make sure the timer's on.
There we go.
How about you adjust it, make sure it's on? Because it's a belt driven and it can snap the belt.
Okay. So, when you're doing Italian or French buttercream, you're going to make them just like you would make Italian or French meringue. You whip the whites. You've got sugar and water on the stove. Hopefully Justin didn't mess it up.
How much sugar and much water?
We are doing 2 cups of sugar and a half cup of water. So you get that like sand consistency before it gets hot.
And
Don't let
that's
us
with egg
stir
whites.
it.
8 egg whites.
8 egg whites.
Okay.
2 cups of sugar, half cup of water.
And don't let them stir it?
Don't let them stir the sugar water. Did you mess it up? You don't let them stir the sugar and egg white mixture, because even one tiny crystal that's up on the side of the pan that they knock into the liquid crystallizes the whole thing. They get to start over.
Like a snowball right downhill.
Faster than running downhill. It's
So you'll see a lot of people when they make some syrup and stuff like that, they'll take these brushes and whack inside of the pan.
Right.
But in real life,
don't stir.
it's not gonna happen. Just let it do its thing. You know?
It's one of those. Put it in there, mix it up, put it on the heat, leave it on.
And I'm massively OCD, so it's really hard for me not to touch it. You know?
Like,
Like,
I just walked over there and I told them to leave it alone.
so
It goes back to the don't touch my stuff.
So when you pour it, you're not afraid that some of the crystals might be up on the side?
No. There's a definite very fine line. What are you doing with the whisk?
I'm making
Stay away from the sugar. Usually by the time the sugar's brought up to temperature, any of those stray crystals that are up on the sides have already fallen in and are incorporated.
So are you tipping that out then?
Yes, there's a candy thermometer in there.
And what temperature do you take?
You usually bring it up to 240 degrees.
So is that like a soft ball?
I have no idea. I have a little digital thermometer that I stick in there and it says 240 degrees and I'm pouring it into egg whites.
That's about half between soft and firm, or medium.
Well, and I was gonna say the issue we've had is that in some schools they don't want your candy thermometers because they're mercury.
Because they're mercury based. I use a regular like digital meat thermometer when I do mine.
Make sure that when you get these ones, look on the side of the thing. Typically they don't go up.
So Yeah, but see, what you do, then you calibrate your thermometer. You put boiling water on and you let it boil, and then you see how much it is, and you adjust your temperature to what water.
Just for what's your altitude, if that changes. What-
Yeah, 7,500.
That's, the 240 is based on here. Like I said, I moved back from Kansas City almost 5 years ago. And I had issues when I was baking in Kansas City because I was so used to baking in high altitude. Like, what do you mean all I have to do is follow the recipe? I don't have to change anything?
What is the altitude?
Here, or down in Cheyenne. Oh, I know what that's.
Casper's about 5,200 feet.
And then we're like 1,000.
Or 6,200. And Kath in Laramie, 7,200.
Yeah.
Or 73, 75, depending.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you're getting ready, your culinary team's ready, because when we went to Jackson, this problem, it takes longer to boil water for doing pasta.
Exactly.
So that's a huge thing when you're thinking about going from like
It'll take longer.
Laramie.
It doesn't take as long for it to boil, it takes longer for your pasta to cook because it's actually boiling at a lower temperature.
That's like when you go elk hunting. I tell the kids when they go elk hunting up on Battle and it's 10,000 feet, you don't boil potatoes, you eat fried taters and onions.
Yes. Because you'll be boiling potatoes
Forever.
for hours. I've pretty much cooked just about every altitude in Wyoming. And yeah, there's a huge difference from Casper up to Jackson to Laramie.
And what about the cruise ship?
Justin likes me to talk about the cruise ship. The worst part of working on the cruise ship was my 17-hour day once a week. Because I did 7-day inter-island cruises in Hawaii. And when you're cooking for between 2,000 and 6,000 people every day, I was there for 4 months straight. It's exhausting. And I was working pastry at the time. And your biggest nemesis in Hawaii when you're working pastry is the humidity that we usually don't have to deal with here. I caught a break on that because our training for the cruise ship was in Maryland, just outside Baltimore. So we got a little bit of the humidity and I'm like, okay, I can handle this. And then I got to Hawaii and tried to make a sugar sculpture and it was a disaster. But the 17-hour day is actually for a chocoholic buffet that they do. So we start at 3 o'clock in the morning and we're making chocolate sculptures and metaphors, and if it's chocolate, we made it, and we did it once a week.
For 4 months.
For 4 months. Well, that's typically a cruise ship contract is 5 months on, 6 weeks off, or 5 months on, 5 weeks off. And I left my contract early because I sprained my knee really bad on one of the upper decks during a storm. And then I got married, so.
Not somebody from the cruise ship.
Yes,
No way.
yes.
Oh, love boats.
We met doing our training in Baltimore. We worked together on the cruise ship for 4 months and we got married before we came back to the mainland.
And he came back to Wyoming?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He is now an ex-husband, but
Oh. Well.